Roxy's not with me today. If you notice, it is a little echoey in here today. So we are at our new house. If you watch any of the live streams or anything, you might have seen bits and pieces of it. Today I actually have a product. Roxy's not here. It's late at night. We haven't even moved in yet. So we're still in process of trying to remodel, get some paint done, and make sure that it's ready to move in. We'll be moving in here in a couple days. We've actually hired out the paint, so there will be no videos on painting. But what we do have is some tile work that I don't do tile very well. So this tile, let me show you real quick. So over here we have our tile floor. If you notice, it's sort of discolored. Some of the grout has actually faded out into white, and some of it's still the natural color that it was. Well, what it does is, from back here, if you look, it kind of gives an optical illusion that the floor is uneven. It's really not that attractive. So what we've done, or what we've decided to do, is try this. It is Ultra Care. It's from Mapel. I don't know if you'll even focus on that. Grout Refresh. So more or less, this is paint for your grout. I've done a little bit of research online to find out. Sorry about this shakiness. I did not bring my tripod with me. This is kind of a last minute kind of vlog. So the last minute, this is basically paint for your grout. Everything I've read online, it will last 3 to 5 years depending on how much traffic is on the floor, if it's in a high traffic area, if it's in a bathroom, and so on and so forth. But I thought y'all might enjoy it, and with everything chaos going on and stuff, we're searching for material. And so I'm going to show you a little bit of me applying this. I've tried a couple different techniques. I will show you how I'm doing it, whether or not it's proper or not. So here we go. This is the Mapel Grout Restorer. See if we can focus on that. Can you focus? Come on. I will say I picked this up at Lowe's. It is about $25 to $30 for this one little bottle. But hopefully it will be enough to do all of this floor. So stick around and grout with me. Does that work? Sure. So if you notice, I have started a little bit. It's a little hard to see. This is back in the utility room, so washer and dryer will sit over top of this. I wanted to try it out a little bit before I decide to do my whole floor. So what you do is, first off, you shake it. Just a few minutes, or a few seconds I should say, and pop the top off. What you get is a very fine tip nozzle. So basically you just drag it along. Whoops. Trying to watch y'all and trying to watch me, and it makes it very difficult to do. So you just basically spread it out, and I've just got a foam brush here. Now I'm sure you can use another brush if you wish. Now I am being a little sloppy, but that's mainly because I am holding this phone, trying to keep it steady for y'all, so you don't get motion sickness. Now I try to do a pretty decent job. I don't have the steadiest hand in the world, but what you end up with is basically this. Now what it says, let me flop this thing around real quick. So what it says on the bottle is, after about 5 minutes, use a paper towel or a cloth to wipe up the excess. When doing that, I've noticed that it caused streaks across the tile, and it seemed to be a little bit more labor intensive than what I care for. So I decided to try a couple of different techniques. There is one called a wet technique, which is on the bottle. So if your tile is more textured, whereas mine's a flat tile. What I decided to do is let it sit, and like I said, it is basically you're painting the grout. So what I did is let it sit. I went off to work and came back to the house. If you notice, it is nighttime outside. It is about 11 o'clock at night. and I'm sitting in the middle of the floor in an empty house. So I let it sit, and I came back over it with a damp cloth and rubbed on it, and it got some of it off. So what I ended up doing is taking a razor blade, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the entire floor tonight, just the grout lines, of course. And tomorrow morning, I will look bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to start cleaning it off. And I should bring my tripod, so hopefully the camera and stuff will be a lot better tomorrow. So I shall see you tomorrow. Alright guys, so it is almost 2 o'clock in the morning. I am still in the house. I'm actually adding a coat of polyurethane to my hardwood floors. Let's see. Not really very interesting there. It's like painting with water. Anyway, so back on the project at hand, I did go ahead and finish up the floor. As you can see, it looks very rough. It looks very messy. Over here is where I started with the foam brush. And I believe that's where I was filming with, is where I had this very wide foam brush. And as I was going along, I did realize something, that it was leaving a whole lot of paint. So in this bottle, I probably used about half that bottle of it. But what I end up doing is I ended up switching to a smaller brush. And this brush allowed me to go a lot faster. Even though it was smaller, it did go a lot faster and allowed a lot thinner coat. I'm trying not to look sleepy. I look very sleepy. Look at all these bags. But it is, like I said, 2 o'clock in the morning. So I did want to show you something. They say on the packaging, it says to use a microfiber cloth and you can rub it off. I found a better way. Always a better way. This is the reason why I can't cook, is because I can't follow directions, no matter how simple it is. Let me show you how easy it is to remove this. And because I've been doing polyurethane on my floor, I've been sitting, and my legs are absolutely killing me tonight. So I thought, well, maybe I could do this a little bit. And I was just kind of playing around, and I ended up finding something I thought was pretty interesting. And I hope you guys enjoy it. And hopefully it's not as crazy as it sounds. Like I said, it's very late. I've been up all day. I did go to work today, and I did not sleep very well the night before. So I am a little bit more crazy than normal. So let me show you what I found. Well, here we have the floor. As you can see, it looks kind of rough, but I was playing around, and this is what it looks like when it's finally finished. So what I did, I'm going to try to do this without shaking the camera too much, but like I said before, I don't have my tripod. So if you just rub your foot over it. I'm wearing old socks today. Rub my foot over it, and all of a sudden, it looks just like wonderful grout. So hopefully by the time I get done, well, one, I'm going to need a new pair of socks. But two, hopefully I don't have to deal with this in the morning. I'm going to try to finish up the polyurethane tonight. But before I get into this area over here, which is where our kitchen dining room is, I'm going to try to finish up this tile tonight. So it's one less thing I have to deal with tomorrow. So hopefully I will conclude this video whenever I finally get done with this tile and maybe get some sleep. Alright guys, I'll be right back. Alright, good morning everybody. It has been a very long night. I was here until about 3 o'clock in the morning. I am very exhausted. Let me try to find some better lighting. Is that a little better? Alright, so a couple of things on the floor. The floor did not take me that long. I want to say probably about an hour. I did polyurethane in the floor, just trying to get a nice little sheen before we get into this house. But I did want to show y'all, I have been working on the floor, and I've been trying different techniques, a lot more consistent job. So when I got done, it looked a lot like this. So it wasn't that bad as far as putting it down, and the fact that I had to sit in the floor for an hour, and it was very, it's cold tile. All right, so I have tried different experiments on how to remove the excess. I'm gonna call this paint. I really can't think of anything other than to call it paint because that's what it acts like. I don't know how long this will last. Like I said before, online this says that it will last, well, the reviews said 3 to 8 years. So for us, I mainly wanted a consistent floor. At some point, once we get in here, I may decide to take up all the grout and redo the grout itself. I wanted just to be able to move in. We've already put a lot of time, money, and effort into this house. And the grout in here is actually pretty good shape. It doesn't seem to be chipping or falling out or cracking. So it is actually in pretty decent shape. It just has some discoloration in it. And that's the main reason why I went with this product. I know it's not a forever product. It doesn't solve all my problems. It just solves all my problems for the moment. So I did want to show y'all a couple of things. First thing I did try was a razor blade. See, here it is. Sorry. Ain't nobody here with me. I am a little crazy. So I did try a razor blade just to scrape it all off. It works decent, but it's not very practical. I was wearing my arm out. Like I said, I was up till 3 o'clock last night trying to get these floors done. So I'm a little on the loopy side. So I wanted to try a couple other things. On the bottle, it says that you can use a wet method if you have a textured. So what I did is I ended up, seems to be the easiest route. So what I end up doing is I have these shop rags. You can buy these pretty cheap. You can probably use regular rags, but these are extra cheap. So what I did is quite simply just take a towel, drop it. Pretty much. So while it sits there, I let it sit, I don't know, a minute or so, not long. I am using warm water, no soap, no any kind of detergent in it. And this is what I did. So there's the before. And simply just doing that. And it wipes away all the excess without taking out the grout line. So I have a little bit left here to do. There's my boots. And as soon as I get done here, I will do a full review on the end of this. And I'll be right back. Alright guys, so here's the big reveal. Alright, y'all tell me, does that look better, worse? From my perspective, I think it turned out pretty good. How long it lasts, I really don't know. I know it still hasn't cured yet. There was quite a few places. I say quite a few. There's not a whole lot. There is a few places here. I don't know how well this is going to pick up. Where either I got over aggressive, or maybe there was something on the grout, such as grease or something on that lines, that kept it from adhering. All in all, I think it's a pretty solid yay out of me. I'm not terribly mad at it. I will say this. Here, let me switch around real quick. I will say this. It did take a lot of elbow grease and a lot of trial and error trying to figure out exactly how to get that off there. Their technique said something along the lines of using a paper towel and wiping off the excess after it dried for 5 minutes. I found that to be very messy. I also found that it came up out of the grout. After it has dried, like I said, this has dried about a good 8 hours. So after it has dried, I went back and just did the whole wet towel thing. It worked out pretty well. It was pretty simple. I will say this, it did leave all those little bits and pieces that were around the floor, all the excess paint. Well, when you go to take all those off, they're still there. They're just no longer attached. So it is a little bit more labor intensive to try to get those off the floor. So it took It probably took longer to get the paint up off the floor than it did to actually remove it from the tile. It did stick to the grout pretty well. Like I said, I got a couple spots I'm probably going to put another coat on and see how well it does. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with this. I did get it at Lowe's. It's about $30 a bottle. I use probably about half the bottle. My kitchen is probably 14 by probably about 10. Just guessing. We do have 12-inch tile. Of course, your grout and everything would change how much you use. I will say this, it would probably be a really good product for like backsplashes, for people who just want to change up the color. Mine was more, how do I want to say that? Just because. We had about 3 shades of color here. I think there was like a black, and then that had rubbed down on some spots or bleached out to white, and then there was this brown color. So I don't know if somebody had done this before or what exactly. This was, like I said, this is our brand new house, so we don't know a whole lot of history to it. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. I've rambled enough, and hopefully y'all have at least learned a little something, and maybe I can help at least one of y'all out there. Make sure you like and subscribe, hit the bell icon below, and you'll get more videos like this. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, of course, here on YouTube. Like and subscribe, hit the bell icon below. All right, guys, till next time.